like the people, don't like them. Them. Public? Yes, the blue chairs. I don't like them. I really don't. The people are brutal. Oh, they are. You hear them all the time. You should see what the building report. Oh, I know, but this is, it's,
Yeah, I remember.
this guy, Mike, I forget his last name, but he's running.
Yeah, so it was just
Tommy's
old
running.
carving and Patel.
No, I'm not running, I just don't, I mean, it's just, I did enough.
This is this one, right? So you got to come on.
I was a coach for 18 years, and on the fire department for 29 years. On the ambulance corps for 24 years. And
No, I have a ready.
I set up
Rhetorical,
the
right?
committee for 4 years now.
It's a regularly scheduled meeting for which the date, time, and location is set forth in the annual notice of meetings adopted by the Waldwick Planning Board at the reorganization meeting of January 2023. In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, said annual notice has been filed with the Borough Clerk, a copy posted in the vestibule of the Waldwick Administration Building, and copies transmitted within 7 days after adoption to the official newspapers of the borough as designated by the governing body, to wit, the Bergen Record and the Ridgewood News. Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Wall,
Here.
Mr. Raimondo, Mayor Giordano,
Here.
Mr. Schatz,
Here.
Mr. Orovitz,
Here.
Mr. Basilico,
Here.
Mr. Missilick,
Here.
Mr. Thomas Badalamenti, Mr. Kowalski, Mr. Verboort,
Here.
Mr. Khabibel.
Would you all rise for a moment of silent prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This point in the meeting where anybody in the audience who has business before the board that is not on the agenda is welcome to come forward. Seeing no one.
Oh, actually, we do have. What the revised resolutions.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you like to give us a little explanation on this one then?
Certainly. This one comes under the heading of mea culpa. We did a resolution back in, like March, for 27 Franklin Turnpike LLC, which is all tied to the hardware store. And frankly, there were a couple of mistakes in what we passed. And all we're doing now is substituting the new resolution for the old one to correct the mistake. That's why we don't have any resolution involved. It's just the revised resolution. It takes care of a little bit of confusion about what the purpose was, that it was not a subdivision. Rather, it was to create a situation where a lease could be recognized. That being said, I hope there would be a motion to accept it.
Accept the amendment.
That's read.
Second? We'll put up the hand for Joe. Second by Joe. Need a roll call on that, correct?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh,
Yes.
Mayor Giordano,
Yes.
Mr. Schatz.
Yes.
Mr. Orovitz.
Yes.
Mr. Basilico.
Yes.
Mr. Missilick,
Yes.
Mr. Verboort,
Yes.
Mr. Khabibel.
Yes. All right. The one thing I'm going to ask the secretary is to maintain the old and the new, clearly marking the old as having been revised, so that there's no question in the record, but that this is substituting and is effective as of the date of the original resolution.
Next up is the approval of the minutes of our last meeting on July 12th. A motion to accept the minutes as printed. Motion by Joe Orvitz, second by Paul Silico. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Resolutions, we have none. And next up is applications. Baghdad. Sub 23-3, 69 McKay Ave.
Evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. For the record, Bruce Whitaker from the firm of McDonald Whitaker representing the applicant. This is a request for basically a realignment of a lot line. We did this once before for others along McKay. There is a strip of land across the back of properties that belongs to Judy Ann Rickley, the owner of 73 McKay Avenue. And everybody thinks their lot lines go further, deeper than they really do. So the purpose behind this is to annex part of her property to my client's property so that they have a bigger backyard. It doesn't create any variance relief, and it doesn't create any new lots. So it's a minor subdivision. It would not require a public notice, and it will be perfected by deed. On the basis of that, we've had the ability to review the Boswell report. The information that they requested, I'm told by Mr. Kirsch, has been submitted to them. We stipulate that we meet all the conditions of Mr. McGinnis's report of September the 25th. I have Mr. Kirsch here created the map for the subdivision. Just briefly testify as to what's being proposed.
Thank you.
Peter?
Mr. Kirsch, nice to see you.
See you.
All right. We do have a couple of fairly recent things. Really quickly, Mr. Kirsch is a surveyor and will testify in that capacity. That means he's testifying as an expert. This board is well aware of his qualifications to do so and has accepted them on many occasions. The only difference between a regular fact witness and an expert is that the expert can offer you opinions, where a fact witness cannot. So we're accepting Mr. Kirsch as an expert, and to the extent that you find any opinions which he may render to be helpful, you are absolutely encouraged to accept them. But to the extent that you ever find an expert witness's opinions to be contrary to your own, you are free to reject an expert witness in that situation. Mr. Kirsch, would you raise your right hand? You swear testimony you're about to give to lead the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
Mr. Kirsch, you have prepared the minor subdivision plan for John Bagnis and Judy Ann Rickley, is that correct? That's right. And this is a plan that has an initial date of March 2nd. Okay. And just briefly describe the existing condition of what's being proposed.
This involves lots 58 and 53. Lot 58 is the one that has the tail and the back of the lot that Ruth described before. Our client, who owns lot 53, was desirous of getting title to that property in the back. What we did is survey both parcels, as you can see on the map, and we transferred approximately 8,000 square feet from lot 58 over to lot 53. Basically now, lot 53 has a tail on it at this point, but it all meets the zoning requirements.
And there's no new lots being created by this subdivision.
No, just the transfer of area of ownership.
Basically increases the area of one of the lots, correct?
Correct.
There was a comment made in Mr. McGinnis' report about a shed on the back property. They're all neighbors that work that situation out. It's a private situation. Everybody thought their lot line went back to that far, and it doesn't. So we will work that out privately. Otherwise, that's basically some of the substance of what we do.
53 is complete.
Okay, 58 is correct. 58 is correct.
And nothing's being built on it, just transferring.
Transferring property, making the Bagnis property a bigger, deeper yard. And basically that flagpole, if you will, or that wing out the side, basically in utility for this, for Mrs. Rickman, about the side of the property.
Mr. Whitaker, we had addressed this property once before, Mr. Rickman's property. What exactly did we do last time that's being affected here?
Well, we subdivided further down the road, right, Peter?
Chairman, that tail that I show on the current survey used to go further to the west,
3801?
3801 and even
3301?
That was Robin Doucette.
Yeah.
So she took that, and then she conveyed part of that, split it off to the Portillo,
This time she's transferring
the rest of it.
the rest of it.
Okay, so we don't wind up with a gap in ownership.
No,
And any and all existing,
Number
existing
73.
variances are continued.
And there it is.
any old
There's the-
non-conformity.
And the only other thing I have is there was a question in the engineer's review regarding the coverage and wanting a little bit more specific on how you came to 39.9%.
When we did the calculations for the new lot, what we did first was determine what the impervious surfaces were on the existing lot 58. And then we adjusted the area to give lot 58 just enough area to get the 39.9%.
So the lot line is a product of what we
Aren't they always?
need.
So the dash line that shows on the plan,
Did this get moved?
that's running north-south, that's moving over on the,
That was the old lot line.
that was the old lot line, so the new lot line.
This is this new one.
The bag houses are giving up a piece of their east side of the property.
Because of 40%.
Correct, so
Uh,
that create a variance, so they
I
should
don't
have
see the
been
dimension on
aware.
that.
That's why.
The strip itself is approximately 7.5 feet.
Is there a buffer between the
This is a 7.5, so they should.
the properties on the blueprints and the Country Squire, I mean, the Cameron Road properties, or they go back to back?
Now, there's a door. We've been in contact with Saddle River when we did the first subdivision down there.
Uh-huh.
It still hasn't been resolved who owns that strip.
So is that a big buffer, or is it like a couple of feet?
Well, it's probably a good 10, 15 feet.
Okay.
This is the no man's land.
Because look at here.
Well, if they haven't come to you and shown you any disapproval, I guess,
You know,
okay. That's all.
Whose fight is that? Of that piece of property in back, that's, you're saying that it's not Baghdad or Brickley or?
It's, no, or
definitely
the other
not there.
side, it's a gore. In other words, everybody has a
That's
deed
exactly what
restriction that
it's
goes to a certain point, but they don't.
They don't
They don't
much.
meet, yeah.
They don't meet. You have a couple of them in town. It happens. Many times it's the Scribner's error, as they continue to make their descriptions. You would confirm this?
It's quite common.
They make an error in the descriptions, and then at that point, the next surveyor goes out, uses the most recent description, and does it that way, and then all of a sudden, these scripts are about multiple words.
We gotta go back to King George to get the right
In other
answer. We have
parts,
to go back to King George to get the right answer.
Might be.
truth is, in other parts of the country, you wind up with doors between towns because of topography. There are a couple in Vermont, and these people pay no taxes to any municipality. It's a great deal.
Motion to accept.
I just want to ask this, Jay.
Any other questions?
Mr. Chairman, what's going to go out, the engineer also mentions the shed, what's going to happen?
The shed is a private situation between that person. The shed is on the wrong property now.
Yeah, I can see that.
So we just-
That's what the engineer pointed out, yeah,
So
right.
knock on the door and we'll figure something out.
Okay.
Would not surprise me if somebody else comes back later and wants to do this again.
That was gonna be my
They want this
question,
piece.
so
They want this
if
piece. and they want
somebody
the-
wanted that, so I guess that entity will come again.
It's like slicing up the pie.
Gotcha. wouldn't have that just made sense to just do it right now and give it to individual owners?
Well, there was one property that was up for sale, so there would be a new buyer there, so
Okay.
we're not sure. And everybody said, well, why do we have to go to a planning board and do something and spend money to do it, so we'll let them figure that out later.
So does that mean now that Mr. and Ms. Bagdas are gonna basically maintain that whole strip of property?
Until they talk to their neighbors, and the neighbors find out that they own it.
Okay.
I don't think so. It's really straightforward.
Any further witnesses?
That's it.
That's it. Anybody from the audience have any questions of the applicant or the professionals? Seeing nobody? Pretty straightforward, folks.
Motion to accept
Motion.
or approve?
Approve, motion to approve, thank you. Second by, Paul Schatz. We need to vote on that.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Mayor Giordano?
Yes.
Mr. Sharp?
Yes.
Mr. Orbit?
Yes.
Mr. Phillips?
Yes.
Mr. Nicholas?
Yes.
Mr. DeWort?
Yes.
Mr. Cavino?
Yes.
Our board attorney will draw up a resolution covering these facts.
We're out of here.
Thank you very much.
See you, Mr. Gentlemen.
Well, we have to do it.
Hey, Joe.
Because what they're gonna do, they're gonna,
We have no further application.
taking it.
Old business, we have old business to cover?
They're buying from Ricky,
Nothing?
and then they're gonna buy from Ricky, and they're
New
gonna sell
business.
each piece there.
Mary, have anything?
Not really, but with everybody's mind to ease and
Yeah,
to
well,
rest.
obviously, yeah.
I don't know what you heard or whatever, but we are not merging the two boards. Zoning stays zoning, planning stays planning. So you can sleep well tonight knowing that.
Thank you. Mr. Schatz, do you have anything for us in business?
No, I don't, nope.
Okay. Motion to adjourn?
So
Motion by
moved.
John, second by Joe, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
See ya. Gotta go.
See you on the first.
George, do you have those keys?